As many of you guys know, I have a single turbo kit coming on the way for this car that's gonna bring it from around 380 wheel horsepower all the way up to around 700 wheel horsepower. And before we install that kit, because I was told that it's actually gonna be coming in this week, I wanted to get one last hurrah, one last ride in this car before everything changes, because it really is an awesome car. The way these factory twin turbos spool is amazing, and I kind of want it as a benchmark to compare to once the car is running the new setup. This car means more than anything in the world to me, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to keep it and build it a little bit more than I already have rather than getting something else, because nothing else out there really excites me as much as this car. I've got a lot of videos talking about the backstory of this car and why it means so much, and today all I want to do is drive it. I got the engine bay mic'd up, I got the exhaust mic'd up, so let's go enjoy the car. Let's do this. One of the things that I'm also going to be doing along with the single turbo setup is a whole suspension revamp on this thing. So like all M3 control arms and stuff underneath, different coilovers. I'm gonna switch to BC's DR series, so hopefully it should make it ride a lot nicer. Right now it's just very bouncy and the car has like a lot of sway in corners. You can just really feel the weight of the car. It doesn't feel as well planted and maneuverable as an M3 does. I think one of the most incredible things about this car is just how quickly it spools. So we'll go first, second, third. All right, we're around 2,000 RPMs and floor it. I'd say we're like full boost by like 2,700 RPMs. I hope with a single turbo it pops as much as it does now. I love them pops. All right, we'll roll into it. This car. Now, of course, when I go to the single turbo kit, I'm gonna have to have a much heavier duty clutch. I'm actually going with Motive's twin disc setup, but apparently their twin disc is barely any more difficult than stock. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna feel. I'm so used to this car. I've been driving around for like 3 years with how it is. Makes lots of weird like clicking noises and things just rattling, which kind of bothers me. But I figure if I really care enough, I can just like sit in the trunk while someone's driving and figure all of them out. Okay, so we're in fourth gear right now, around 2,500 RPMs, and we'll floor it. Full boost before we even hit 3,000 RPMs. It's amazing. And I know it's not gonna be like that with a single turbo, but I think the power will make up for the lack of spool. But I've also heard that it's not as bad as I'm thinking, so. I'm not really the best in the world at launching this car, but we'll turn traction control off, we'll turn AC off, and I'll try to do a quick 0 to 60 for you guys. All right. Oh, we just spun the whole time. I'll have to get a redo. That's another thing that I do have on order as well, is in LSD, which should help with putting the power actually down to the ground instead of just spinning the wheels erratically like it does now, or should I say the wheel. You guys were commenting that you wanted to see a burnout on Twitter, and I don't like doing them because the camber on this car, which is another thing I have to dial out, just shreds through tires, so I will give it another go. All right, 60. I got to 60 a little bit before I said that. This car, I've noticed, like, it's kind of difficult when you're getting up high in the RPMs in first to get a really good shift into second. You almost have to wait a second, otherwise it kind of grinds a little bit. Maybe that's my car, maybe the previous owner just beat the crap out of it, but it is something that's a little difficult. It also does have a short shift kit on it. It's an OEM short shift kit, so that might have something to do with it, but maybe I have like a tendency to pull it towards me. But you know what, I'll own up. I've grinded a few gears here and there. I ain't perfect. All right, we'll hop on the highway up here so we can get a good pull maybe through third gear. I don't like going fast on public roads, especially if there's any possibility that there could be someone on the road, whether it's walking or another car. All right, we're brake boosting her a little bit. Now go. I think she's getting a little loose on me. I think it's shift from second to third. That's fun. It's weird, sometimes this car, I swear, has this thing where it like holds boost between gears. This may sound ridiculous, but I swear the blow-off valve doesn't sound sometimes, and then when I hit into the next gear, it's almost like it was holding that boost somewhere, and then it just comes back, almost like an anti-lag or like flat foot shift type ordeal. I don't really know. Maybe this is a thing. Feel free to comment below and let me know, because there's probably something with my car that I don't even know myself. Another thing I'm looking forward to about the Motive single turbo kit is apparently when you get rid of the twin turbos on this car, the throttle response is a lot better. So compared to the E92 M3, I hate how like you step on the gas in this car, so we'll put it in like fourth. I step on the gas now, and not the turbo lag, but the actual delay from when you step on the gas into when the engine responds. It might have something to do with the fact that it's electronically driven throttle, and it's a BMW, so they try to make it as user-friendly as possible. So I've heard that that delay is almost non-existent with single turbo kit, so I'm excited to see if that's the case. You know, in traffic, just driving around town, the car is incredibly smooth. The fact that it does have so much torque and such a quick spool, I mean, mind you, the car will have more torque once I have the single turbo, but so much low end torque makes it a very like zippy car for just kind of moving around cars in traffic. You don't really have to downshift, it just kind of moves. Now, if you're curious on more specs of this car, I do have an entire car check where I go over every single bolt-on I have on this car, like the exhaust and how many different setups I've been through, what I like the most. But to be very simple about it, it's basically a full bolt-on car with a Cobb access port and a dyno tune, which actually made the car feel a lot better than just one of the off-the-shelf maps. I think I gained a little bit of horsepower, a little bit more responsive, and a lot more top-end power. Other than the suspension overhaul and the single turbo kit, the only other thing that I'm really planning on doing in the near future with this car is possibly new wheels so I can fit a little bit more rubber in the back with a little bit lower offset, because right now with my 10s, I'm pretty much flush with the edge of the fender. I'm constantly rubbing, and that's with camber too. So I might do some bigger brakes in the front. These brakes are really great stock, but I'd like something a little bit prettier, and it never hurts to have a little bit extra stopping power, especially when you're up into 700 horsepower. So I'm excited to be working with a local shop on this one. It's going to be Precision Sport Industries, other known as PSI, in Winter Park. They absolutely kill the BMW and the Porsche game, and they've been helping me kind of steer me in the right path with a lot of these different mods and stuff with this car, because they know them day in and day out. And frankly, I've kind of fallen out of the BMW world, and I've really only been paying attention to 240 stuff, so I'm not really up to date with a lot of the stuff that's out there on the market for these cars right now. Look at all the crap on the side of the road from Irma. So much. And that's about it. I absolutely love my 335, and I could not be more excited for the single turbo kit. If you want to see the process and the monster that my car is going to become, I highly recommend you subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And to all of you that have been here since I got the 335, thank you so much for sticking with me, especially if you only subscribed for that car, because I knew that it would make a comeback, but it just took a little while. Thumbs up for turbo noises, and I will see you guys tomorrow.